What is going on today, guys? My name is Jeff and welcome back to another episode on my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over tips and tricks and personally my perspective on what it means to be masculine and how to become more masculine. Me personally, I am on my spiritual development journey and I am working on becoming more masculine, tapping in to the masculinity within myself. So there are these particular traits and skills that I'm taking on that are pushing me to my limits of masculinity and allowing me to tap into the purest form of myself and express myself in the most confident way possible. My goal is to recreate myself into a version where I am most confident, I lack insecurities, I conquer fears, and I just fall in love with who I am. So once again, this video is going to be simply my perspective, my opinion, the things that I am doing to pursue and become more masculine within myself. So remember that as you watch this video, and without further ado, let's get right into it. What I believe is, in order to truly be masculine, there's one thing that you're gonna need, and that's simply preparation. You need to be prepared in all aspects of your life, in all scenarios of your life. You need to focus on being prepared, being able to adapt to any situation. So what do I mean by that? I believe that every single man, especially if he's masculine, and he carries this energy, he carries this masculine frequency, he simply needs to be prepared in the ways of survival, romance, wisdom, intellect, communication, self-control, and emotional intelligence. Now, when I say that a purely masculine man needs to be prepared in the ways of survival, I simply mean him having the inner knowing that he's protected, that he can protect himself. So one thing that I'm doing to ensure that I can protect myself, I started boxing. I started studying the art of self-defense. I started training in boxing. I began to gain confidence in the fact that I now know and I now believe genuinely, internally, that I can protect myself. And the choice is yours. It doesn't necessarily have to be boxing. It can be kickboxing, it can be kung fu, it can be taekwondo, it can be karate, it can be any form of self-defense. Having this skill under your belt as a man will give you that inner knowing, that inner confidence that you are protected, that you can protect yourself, that you can protect the people around you, that you can protect your family, that you can protect your romantic partner, that you can protect someone on the street that may be in need of help. Having this trait or having this skill set under your belt will give you courage, will make you brave. And this is a very, very powerful trait when it comes to masculinity. Men should also be prepared in effortlessness when it comes to romanticism. When it comes to your romantic partners or your romantic life, study the art of effortlessness, the art of not trying, the art of simply just being, or at least portraying things that way. If you're going on a date, it's nice to, before the date, or the day before, or the week before, or any type of planning or scheduling before, to take time out and plan the date from beginning to end. So when you go on to this date, you already know what you want to do, you know what you need to have, you're prepared, you know exactly where you're going to go, and doing this is going to simply make the experience seem effortless. And as a man, as a masculine man, studying, planning, scheduling, and making certain situations within your life seem effortless is very, very powerful. Because whether you want to believe it or not, people are always watching you. And I like to consider myself as a role model to some, as somebody who's inspiring, as somebody who motivates people and pushes people to become the best version of themselves. So a lot of the time I like to sit back, I like to plan, I like to schedule, and I like to create a list of things that I'm going to do. So when I do it, it's simply effortless. Going on a date and planning everything out will simply make you look effortless. And that's sexy. And this simply ties in to being prepared, always preparing yourself for everything, even with your sex life. Have these things ready. Always be prepared in every single situation of your life, because this is going to pull out the masculinity within you. And this is going to raise your frequency in the eyes of the person that is around you. With preparation allows you to focus on the present moment. And with focusing on the present moment and preparation, this together brings presence. Men should also be prepared in wisdom and intellect. And this ties into problem solving. Being able to solve problems. Getting better at problem solving, simply, you just have to go out and you have to take L's. L's does not stand for loss, it stands for lessons. Go out, take L's, go out, experience, go out, gain different perspectives, see new things, see new people, see new environments. Just keep growing, keep learning, keep seeing, keep visualizing, keep creating. And over time, you're going to gain so much wisdom that you simply just know answers. If you ever face adversity, you know how to make decisions very, very quickly based on the fact that you've had a lot of experience. Also, a very, very sexy trait of a man is to be able to teach. Someone who can teach, someone you can learn from, someone that can help you grow, someone that can help you see parts of yourself that you haven't dug deep enough to see for yourself. Being around a man who has wisdom, who has intellect, who can help you grow mentally, who can raise your level of consciousness by simply being around you and giving you his insight, showing you different perspectives. This is something that draws people in to you and makes you so attractive as a man. How can you gain wisdom and intellect? Read books. Like I said earlier, go experience life. Experience life. And you don't simply have to go take a plane and fly to Dubai in order to experience life. Experience life in your hometown, in your city, in your neighborhood, in your state. Keep it local. There's a lot you haven't seen. If you take a day or you take a couple hours to simply ride a bike or just drive around your local town and check out new places around you that you have not yet seen, go to places you have not yet been locally, you will see that there's so much to see. There's so much to do. You just haven't seen it yet. You just haven't done it yet. Don't be afraid of asking questions. Ask everyone questions. There's always more to know. There's always more to learn. There's always more to grow. 24/7, I'm constantly watching videos, listening to audiobooks, or listening to different perspectives, listening to different podcasts, and just soaking in all these different bits of information. This is going to expand your mind. If you want to become wise, experiences. If you want to become smarter, podcasts, read books, sit with yourself, ask yourself questions, ask other people questions. Just gain knowledge. In this video, I'm focusing more on preparation because I believe that preparation is what makes you masculine. If you can prepare yourself for every single situation and scenario in your life, which simply is to adapt, adaptation. The ability to adapt to any situation, any scenario is very, very powerful. It's very powerful and it's very masculine if you can do it right. A masculine man should always, always, always be prepared in the ways of emotional intelligence and self-control. And this falls back on disciplining yourself, conquering this, conquering your mind. If you know what's good for you and you know what's bad for you, but what's bad for you is something that you want to indulge in because it feels good and it makes you comfortable, being able to stand up and say, no, I can't do that, no matter how bad you want to, and stepping into the right path, which is doing what's good for you over what's bad for you, doing what's uncomfortable over what's comfortable. That's conquering this. If you're not conquering yourself, you're not doing it right. If you're not fighting with yourself at times, you're not doing it right. If you're not having battles with your mind, with your thoughts, with your feelings, with your emotions, you're not doing it right. You have to learn to sit in silence. You have to learn to be still. When you're having wars with your mind, when you're having wars with yourself, when you miss someone, when you lose something, when you're having a bad day, when you're losing yourself, being able to sit with your feelings, not running from them. Being able to sit with yourself, not running from yourself. Being able to discipline yourself. Running away from comfort and welcoming discomfort. Chasing your fears, not running from them. This all ties into emotional intelligence and self-control. Knowing when it's the right time to get angry. Knowing when it's the right time to get aggressive. Knowing when it's the right time to cry. Knowing when it's the right time to do what needs to be done. Self-control and emotional intelligence is very powerful. Being a man in general, this is very important. Emotional intelligence and self-control. This is going to dictate how you see things. Optimism, pessimism. This is going to dictate where you go in life. This is going to dictate the opportunities and how you execute. Just relax. Meditate, sit still. Just sit still, relax. If you have a lot on your mind, doesn't matter, sit still. Turn off the music, turn off the lights, just sit still. Practice stillness. And last but not least, we're gonna get into something that I think is one of the most important traits or skills to have as a man, especially if you're trying to tap into the true masculinity within you, and that is communication, the art of communication. I read a lot of books on communication. I watch a lot of videos on communication. I listen to a lot of podcasts on communication. And communication isn't simply just what I'm doing now, talking. Communication is body language. Communication is eye contact. Communication is seduction. Communication is presence. Lack of communication is a form of communication. What you wear is communication. Your actions are communication. Communication is everything. The biggest thing I'm working on right now that's helping me with communication is simply social skills. I want to be a better speaker. I'm working on public speaking. This is also a form of public speaking because I'm speaking to an audience. Talking to your friends is public speaking. Different levels. I want to be a better speaker. I want to be a better communicator. Talking fast, talking slow, being seductive with your voice, lowering your tone, raising your tone, deciding on what tone to use in certain situations, holding eye contact with people, being able to focus on your train of thought and what you're trying to say, being able to have deep connections with people when you're communicating with them. Hey, how are you doing today? Oh, me? I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. I look good. I feel good. I accomplished so many things today. I said I was going to do this and I did it. By the way, I love your accent. Are you Brazilian? Yeah, I'm Brazilian. I'm from this, that, and the third. Oh, wow. I went there 2 weeks ago. It was amazing. Let me tell you what I experienced. Boom, conversation. Something slight, bro. I just made that shit up off the dome. You don't got to have conversations like that. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I want to have conversations. I want to have deep, personal, intellectual conversations, high vibrational conversations. Let's talk about some real shit. Let's get deep into it. If you want to be a masculine man, you cannot be afraid of interactions. You cannot be afraid of eye contact. You cannot be afraid of conversation. You cannot be afraid of altercations. You cannot be afraid to make decisions. You can't be afraid of romance. You can't be afraid of gaining knowledge. You can't be afraid of learning. You can't be afraid of growing. You can't be afraid of change. This is what it takes to be a masculine man. At least to me, this is my perspective. You're simply just getting a perspective that belongs to me. Being prepared simply allows you to adapt into every single situation, every single scenario. And when you can adapt to every single scenario, you're just a free bird. You're just a free bird. You could step into any room, step into any group, and you are just that guy. You're just that guy. It doesn't take much because you're prepared. You already built that belief within you. You already gained those experiences. You already tapped into this. You conquered this. Step into yourself. Nature's the best teacher, bro. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I know you guys learned something. Take out what you like, throw away what you don't like. Don't run from yourself. So with that being said, I will see you guys when I see you guys on the next video. And I'm signing off now.